Okay, guys, we're about to start the meeting. Thank you very much for joining us once again. For those of you that just joined us, your microphones are going to be muted. We're working on the cameras. We'd like to see if you can turn on your camera. For those of you that like to do that, we'll love to see you, and if possible. And we're still working on that. But in the meantime, if you have any comments, questions, anything you'd like to share with our director so that he can address today during this meeting, feel free to send him your message directly through Teams. Send it to Andy Linton through Teams. You can do it through this chat, but this chat will be seen by everyone here. But if you send it directly to Andy, he'll get those comments or questions and address those at the end. So once again, we appreciate you joining us. And now we're going to get the meeting started, the fiscal year 24 annual staff meeting or all hands meeting. And for this, we're going to introduce now our department director, Andy Linton. So Andy will welcome you to this meeting. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. So glad everyone can join us for this meeting today to just celebrate the incredible work that we've done over the past year. It's fiscal year 24. I know a lot of new people might not know what that means. So that's all the work we've done from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. And we did a lot of incredible work, which we'll be talking a little bit about, and recognizing individuals. Really, this meeting is to recognize all of you for the incredible work, but there are some individuals that and programs and that we will be recognizing today as part of our meeting. So we look forward to that. Glad you could join us. Normally, this time when we have these meetings, I'm always happy to be bringing people out of the heat. Normally with this all hands meeting, it's not hot outside, but I can probably say today that it is nice to bring everyone out of the heat for a few minutes, and we're already in mid-October. So congratulations on enduring that the heat of the summer. The only fan of the heat and no rain is our vector control program, because that brings all the mosquitoes to them and all their mosquito responses. But I think for the rest of us, we like to see the weather cooling off, and hopefully we'll be getting a little rain here soon. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump in to highlight some of our accomplishments over this last fiscal year. So as with all of our presentations that we give to the public and internally, we always have our mission and vision statement. I don't think this mission and vision statement should mean more to anyone, to the public, than it should to us. I think this really is what we're all about, this mission and vision statement. There's a study that I read recently that I love to go back and read occasionally, but the conclusion of the study was that environmental health practitioners have had a bigger impact on human health and longevity than any other practitioner. So that includes physicians and researchers and people that invented the vaccine and all of the other things that have come along in the last 100 years. Environmental health practitioners have had a bigger impact on human health and human longevity. So that's absolutely incredible, and I couldn't agree more. And I think that's captured here in our mission statement. And our vision statement, I'll be talking about a little bit more at the end of the meeting. I really do want to focus our future on fostering and developing innovation for our program. So we'll talk about a little bit about that at the end. But as we go through the presentation today, and we're going to be looking at some of the numbers from each of the divisions, just keep in mind what those numbers represent, and I'll try to talk a little bit about that as we go through. But they aren't just numbers, it's so much more than that. So first, we want to celebrate the huge accomplishment of successfully launching our Permit Center software. Having worked up in the county manager office, there have been similar initiatives that have launched in other departments in the county and other areas of the county. And so when I heard about the timeline for Permit Center and as the number of departments that were going to be involved, the numbers of different lines of businesses, I can't lie, when I was up in the county manager's office, I was a little skeptical that it would then be able to pull it off in time and under budget, because those are the two things that seem to go wrong with several other initiatives that are still ongoing after a number of years. And so we were able to accomplish those goals, to launch it on time and launch it under budget. Just to highlight a few of the things that we did. We successfully designed and built nearly 50 different permit types. And there were so many of you involved in this. I feel like I almost don't have to elaborate much on what that entailed, but I know with all the different lines of business, what a huge, huge undertaking that was. We had to train 222 environmental services staff. And this isn't just training people on the basics of Permit Center. This is training people on the specifics of how to conduct all the different lines of business. And so it was a tremendous undertaking to train all of our staff on all of the different things that they need to do to be able to accomplish their business. Developed new inspection checklist formats. So I think going through this Permit Center exercise, one of the benefits was that we got to figure out how to streamline our business process, how to standardize forms, all in the midst of trying to get this developed, and we successfully did that. And I think for our customers, who I think it was the ultimate reason we went to this new system, it does provide them to more data. It's easier to apply, easier to access information. And our customers can do business across multiple regulatory departments, which was a huge reason we went to Permit Center. So if you're a developer putting in a new subdivision of homes, for example, you can go to one place to apply for your flood control permits, your transportation permits, planning and development permits, air quality permits, environmental services permits. All that can be done now in one system, which is fantastic. I know our customers were really excited about that. And we're excited I don't think Permit Center has reached its full potential. So we're excited to move Permit Center into the future and continue to improve with Permit Center with the different features that it will offer us and our customers. All right, so the first area we're going to recognize is administrative services. So this number is always a bit staggering to me. 128,857 calls received, about a number of, that ranges from complaints to questions about permit centers to questions about operational permits, applications. Our call center and our intake folks are absolutely fantastic for being able to manage that number of calls. They received almost 11,000 web complaints. Our call center also is the call center for the planning and development department. So their breadth of knowledge goes beyond even environmental services, which I find amazing. And they created 19,852 tickets for the planning and development department. Their system's called Pickle at P&D. And so they have a lot of involvement with planning and development customers. So what a great job that they can understand the breadth of so many different business lines and direct people to where they need to be. And then finally, they received 19,677 permit applications in this last year. So this is the beginning of most of our customers' experience with the department. And so we are so lucky to have such a capable crew of intake folks with our administrative services group. So thank you to all the wonderful work you've done in administrative services. We're lucky to have you. Next, we move on to vector control. So vector control in fiscal year 24 launched their community outreach program, and Connie Griffin is the community outreach specialist that has developed this program and launched it into the community. So you can see on the screen some of Connie's accomplishments this year. 80,000 people have attended the various events that Connie has attended and presented at. We've gotten regular feedback where she goes to different STEM events, for example, at schools or general community events, that she has the best setup in the entire event with microscopes where people can look at mosquitoes under a microscope, gambusia fish. They can learn all about what vector control does and how they can help to prevent mosquitoes in the community. So what a huge impact Connie is having with her outreach program. Still on vector control. So it's been a busy time over at the lab. There was a remodel done at the lab for both what they call the dirty lab, which is the mosquito identification and counting part of the lab, and the clean lab, which is where they do their mosquito testing for diseases like West Nile virus, St. Louis encephalitis, and have their PCR machines. So they had a huge expansion there. Was a little bit disruptive to the operations, but they came through it like champions, and the lab is now fully up and running. And hopefully everyone will get an opportunity to see that at one of our department events that I believe we're going to have over at Vector Control this year. You'll get a tour of the new lab, which is fantastic. But again, the numbers that Vector Control does over there is pretty staggering. 51,014 traps counted, 29,542 specimen pools, 146 plate extractions, and 16,224 PCR tests run. And so those PCR tests are testing for organisms like West Nile virus, St. Louis encephalitis, dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. And we are truly leaders in the state when it comes to our lab and with what we're doing. We are aside from a private lab that's up in Flagstaff, I believe we're the only one that's really doing the type of testing that we're conducting in the state. So we are leaders in this area and trying to protect our residents here in Maricopa County from these diseases. And of course, none of that would be possible. The lab wouldn't have all of these things to test if it weren't for the great work that our field crew does over at Vector Control. So they set 42,000 traps, 74,000 adulticide acres. All of the surveys you can see there that they've done, public health trap set, all of the different testing that they do on their pesticides to make sure they can assess resistance and the effectiveness of these different things. So it's a huge operation that they have running over at Vector Control. Last year, I had the opportunity to attend the American Mosquito Control Association's national meeting. And it was really interesting to hear about programs in other parts of the country that are funded by special taxing districts, which basically means they have tons of money to run their vector control programs. We're not in a special taxing district with our vector control program, but they keep par with these other programs that have all of these other resources. And I think that goes to show how dedicated they are and how good they are at making the most of the resources that they do. So thank you so much to our vector control crew. We are truly leaders, not just here in Arizona, but also nationally. Next up, we have our environmental health crew. Again, I can emphasize here that these aren't just numbers. So they conducted 61,401 inspections, which is a ton of inspections. But of course, it represents so much more than just an inspection that we check off the list. These are opportunities that we have to contact the public. Every time we find and are making observations about critical priority violations, those are all opportunities that or interventions that we're able to conduct to help prevent foodborne illness out in the community. So that is an awesome amount of work. And they're expected to get it right every time. They have, across those 61,401 inspections completed, there are so many different types of businesses, so many different types of processes that they're having to observe. And our expectation for them is they do it right every time, and that they're completely consistent in the way that they do it. And they do an outstanding job accomplishing that. So you can see, in addition to getting the inspections done, these SOPs that they've listed here are absolutely critical to making sure that things are done consistently and done well across all of those inspections. And so they were able to complete and sign a few SOPs from their SOP library. The Environmental Health Program won 2 NACO awards this year. So that's the National Association of Counties Achievement Awards that they give out every year. So it's a national recognition. And it also gets a lot of recognition internally here at the county, especially from our County Board of Supervisors. And so congratulations to the environmental health folks that were involved in finding the time to submit those awards and then in actually being awarded those achievement awards. And I was so proud to see you recognized by our Board of Supervisors for that accomplishment. And I think it's so good for our board and other departments and leadership throughout the county to see the good work that we're doing through these achievement awards. So congratulations on that. And then they standardized 16 supervisors in the environmental health division. And that is quite a process. That's the standardization protocol that the Food and Drug Administration has laid out. And so they were able to go through that process to ensure that all 16 supervisors were standardized. That's consistently one of the request from the customers of environmental health, the regulated community, is that they take a standard approach to their inspections, that there's some predictability in what they're looking for and what those and how they're applying those regulations. So that's critical to the success of their program, is having just a fantastic, experienced and standardized group of supervisors that are then guiding their staff to those same standards. So congratulations, environmental health, on everything that you were able to accomplish this year. This slide I love. These are all of the new environmental health specialists that Environmental Health Division added this year. We are so lucky to have such an awesome crew of new environmental health specialists who are passionate about what they're doing. We are glad to have you on board. This represents, I believe Brian has around 70 environmental health specialists. So this represents about a third of the environmental health specialists in the Environmental Health Division are new. So to me, this represents a lot of opportunity for the new staff and existing staff when we have a new crew like this coming on board. So super glad to have you here. Moving on to waste resources. I'm going to get caught up on my papers here. All right, so we had some changes to our waste resources program. There was a reorganization that was done. We brought on a new operations and maintenance supervisor, Tony Hubble. So we're glad to have him on board. And then we added 2 lead positions to that group. So that was a small reorganization that happened early in the year. Since Tony coming on board and having these new people in place, one of the cool things that I think they did is they implemented some GPS equipment on their maintenance equipment at the landfill. So they're responsible for maintaining 10 closed landfills, essentially to make sure that everything that was put in the landfill many, many years ago stays in the landfill, that it isn't coming out, getting into the environment in any way. So there's a lot of maintenance that's involved in doing that and maintaining the caps, for example, of the landfill. And with this new GPS equipment that tracks where they're doing the maintenance, they can do it 50% more efficiently. So congratulations to Tony on bringing some innovation into the program right off the bat. Implemented a new safety and training program. So that's really important. And I think part of that safety program is that they meet with as a team on a regular basis. The 10 closed landfills are generally out in the most rural areas of the county, and they're spread out all over the place. So this has been a really good thing to get everyone on the same page with safety, and also for team building, to make everyone feel like they're not only part of the waste resources team, but the environmental services team in general. So good job on implementing these meetings and these safety training programs. And last but certainly not least, just recently we brought on an environmental compliance specialist, Carrie Keller. If you get the opportunity to meet Carrie, she's absolutely fantastic. Please say hello to her. She just started a few weeks ago. She's coming from the city of Phoenix with many, many years of water testing experience, and we are really excited to have her on board. When things go wrong, there are a lot of requirements associated with maintaining the landfills and a lot of different types of testing that's required so that we can stay ahead of any type of contamination issues. And that's going to be Carrie's job, is to stay on top of that and to keep records of the landfills. Any delays in being able to respond to things that we do find wrong can cost literally millions and millions of dollars. There's a project right now at the Cave Creek landfill where there's some contamination identified in the groundwater, and it took several years to identify that and get us on a path to remediation. And I think the county's allocated something like $30 million, I think, to that project. And so we have more of a success story out at Queen Creek, where we identified something earlier on, and the cost has been minimal in comparison to what's being spent out at Cave Creek. So that's going to be Carrie's role, is to identify those things so that we can intervene right away. So we are super excited to have Carrie on board, and she's fantastic. I look forward to everyone getting to meet her and getting to know her. Okay, moving on to our waste management division. Water and waste management division. And first we have our treatment program. So this is water treatment and wastewater treatment systems and facilities. So when I think of what I started the presentation on, when I think that environmental health engineers and specialists have had more of an impact on human health than any other practitioner. I think of the impact that a group like this has, in addition to what I've already mentioned. People that are making sure that the sewage is going to where it needs to be so they can't spread disease, and that our water is safe. And this group has to navigate not just the technical side and the technical review part of this to make sure that these systems work and that they're successful, and to navigate all the different regulations, understanding those regulations, including new regulations that are coming out, seems like constantly. There's a new lead and copper rule that they're having to navigate currently. We have advanced water purification, which is taking treated sewage basically and mixing that now in with drinking water to supplement our drinking water supplies here in the Valley, and making sure obviously that goes right and that that's all done correctly. So this group is navigating that. But in addition to that, the projects that they're reviewing literally total up to billions of dollars every year, the projects themselves for these new wastewater facilities and new water treatment facilities. And those projects are associated with the surrounding development that totals up to hundreds of billions of dollars. So when you think of Taiwan Semiconductor and all of the residential subdivisions and Microsoft data centers, there usually is some component of water treatment or wastewater treatment. And this group is involved in having to navigate everything that's involved in getting these things up and running in conjunction with the development of these different projects here regionally. So they do a fantastic job. Just a couple of notable projects, ongoing reviews that they have. Luke 303 wastewater facility, the Verado water reclamation facility, Russell Ranch wastewater facility expansion, Buckeye, Goodyear, Gilbert, Glendale all have different programs that are currently going through our treatment program. So they have a ton on their plate. And I don't think this could all be accomplished if we didn't have the best group and most talented group of engineers in Arizona. So we feel really lucky to have this group looking over this for our department. All right, next, sticking with Water and Waste Management Division is our Aquatic Health and Safety Group. Again, very, very busy, not only on the operational side, but on the construction side. You can see 10,000 operational permits, 200 new pool and spa permits, 677 remodel permits. And you can see the other numbers there. So an incredibly busy group. A couple of notable projects that have come in this year. Avondale Surprise and Queen Creek have all developed new aquatic centers. And it seems like every time there's a new aquatic center, there are new features at those aquatic centers that require specialized review and sometimes variances that have to be issued. And so this group has done a fantastic job staying on top of those reviews and making sure that all the timelines are met to get these projects completed and open. Probably the coolest one of the projects that I spoke with Greg Epperson about is the Cannon Beach Surf Park way out in the East Valley. I guess this is supposed to be something like the new Big Surf. If you've been in the Valley for a long time, Big Surf is no longer there, but there's actually a surfable wave at this surf park, as the name says. And Greg, at one point we were talking about getting final approvals out there, and he mentioned that the liner alone for this big surf pool, I guess you could call it, was something like in the order of $2 million. So just to give you an idea of the type of investment and what's on the line with these reviews and approvals. And so they've done a fantastic job navigating all this with our aquatic health and safety program. Next up, oh, and I don't want to say also that there are new additions to the team. You can see the crew that's listed there. They have promoted Brandon Steger to an EHS senior, Elizabeth Davis to a DST lead, and then we have some new EHSs who have joined the crew in aquatic health and safety. So glad to have you on board. All right, our subdivision program. Again, another incredibly busy program with all of the construction that's going on out in the community. And subdivision, I would say, along with treatment, is another group that kind of has to navigate the development world and getting things done on time with all the money that's on the line with developments that are happening. And not only getting them done on time, but also it's been interesting me as coming back as director and coming back to the department, understanding more about the pressures that they get from developers, and the fact that a lot of developers sometimes don't even recognize that having this wastewater infrastructure is critical to them being able to start up their factories, start selling homes. It's almost an afterthought. So these are kind of our cheerleaders out there with these developers to make sure that developers understand what these requirements are, because it's absolutely critical to, obviously, for a home to be able to be sold and someone to be able to live in that home and have proper water and wastewater facilities in that community. So a lot of really big high-profile projects. There's the BNSF intermodal facility out in the far Northwest Valley that's up near the Taiwan Semiconductor facility, Microsoft data centers. This team also does a fantastic job, and our two division managers, Eric Matson and Brian Hare, do a really good job trying to cross-train different staff so that when there's more work to do on one side or the other, we can move staff over to accommodate for those different fluctuations in work. And I would say Eric, within his division, Matson, has done a fantastic job doing the same thing. And so subdivision program has shared staff this year with the pools program, the treatment program, and has even helped out with planning and development, even outside of our department. And that's in addition to getting all of this work done. So just a great team approach to getting things done as well and as quickly as we can. So great job to our subdivision program. I think there's pictures of the crew here. So this is our subdivision crew. So great job. Next, still in our water and waste management division, we have our on-site wastewater program. So again, you can see with our on-site wastewater, there's been an increase of almost 8.5% this year in 2024. So construction isn't slowing down. If anything, it seems to be picking up just a bit. You can see some of the numbers here coming up on the screen. And I'm glad that they threw in the permit center recognition there, because that's absolutely critical to getting these reviews done quickly and efficiently. And they did add an EHS senior position to that group. So great job to our on-site folks. And here are the new employees to the on-site program. Derek Summers was promoted to EHS senior, Elwin and John. So we're glad to have you on board with our on-site wastewater program. All right, and we're still with the Water and Waste Management Division. Certainly, one of the fun things about managing the Water and Waste Management Division is having such a diverse group of programs. So here's yet another program, if you weren't familiar with it, our solid waste program. And you can see the variety of things that our solid waste program oversees and inspects and permits, from refuse containers to potable water haulers. Interesting thing about potable water haulers and the impact that they have on our community. There are a lot of communities in the rural areas of Maricopa County that don't have a water supply. So they don't have a well or any type of public water system. They rely on potable water haulers to bring them water and fill up a tank at their house. And so you can see what's on the line with ensuring that these potable water haulers are doing that in a sanitary manner, getting their water from an approved source. If you heard about Rio Verde, the Rio Verde community up in the Northeast Valley, you probably would understand what I'm talking about when I talk about these homes that don't have a water supply. So $1 million homes, and they rely on potable water haulers to bring in water to supply their toilets and their showers and even their swimming pools, believe it or not. So and that's just one example of what our solid waste program is out in the community doing. So great job to the crew there in our solid waste program. And they have one new employee, and that's Teresa Amoroso. So welcome, Teresa. And last but certainly not least, our drinking water program. Again, something that I think is just expected by most people in our community, that you just have safe water. You turn on the tap and that water is safe. It's almost an afterthought. Interestingly, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I got on the topic of boil water orders, and I said, yeah, they don't happen very often, but there is potential for certain public water systems, if they have contamination, to have to issue a boil water order to the community. And some of them kind of get pretty close, if they don't respond quickly and to any type of test that come up back positive. the potential is there for them to have to do a boil water order for the entire community. And he was just blown away by that. He thought, how could that even happen here? How does that happen? I said, well, it doesn't happen because we're out doing what we're supposed to do every single day. So you don't have to think about that, about having safe water. So this is the crew that, along with our design team and the treatment program and the review team, this is the crew that's going out and doing the operational inspections of these different drinking water systems across the valley. So a lot riding on what they're out there doing each and every day, and they do an absolutely fantastic job. And I want to give special kudos to Cynthia Hernandez she's the EHS senior assigned to the drinking water program. And Kenyatta Mangar, as many of you know, the supervisor, he left a few months ago, and Cynthia has kept the program running and kept us looped in on important things and advised us on things during his absence. So huge kudos to Cynthia and really the entire team for keeping things going during this transition to a new supervisor. Okay, now on to our quality and compliance division. So first we have our stormwater quality program. And I think this is a really impressive group when it comes to their outreach program. One of our Board of Supervisors' favorite thing that they do in their formal board meetings is recognize the stormwater pollution prevention poster contest winners. And they've even gotten competitive amongst themselves in their different districts about who's going to win from year to year. And so this group, our outreach with Kristen and Autumn, our outreach program, makes a special effort to get out to as many schools as they can to create this competition. And at the end of the day, of course, to raise awareness about stormwater quality. And this is a program that's been around for a while. I was thinking the other day that, these 5th and 6th graders, when this outreach program started, are probably now adults or young adults. And so they're taking these things that they remember from elementary school now, hopefully out into the community as adults. And I know that awareness is sticking with them because of the poster contest and all the really engaging things that this group has done out in the community over these many, many years. So it's definitely paying dividends now, and it will well into the future. So great job to our stormwater quality program. Next, we have our enforcement team. And just a quick update on the enforcement team. We have 3 new members of the enforcement team, including in the last week, a new supervisor. So congratulations to Patrick Broden, who was promoted to the enforcement supervisor position. And so really grateful to the work that this group does. Just the attention to detail. You talk about a group that has to get everything right every time they do something. This is that group to make sure that the county's risks and the department risks are covered with the different enforcement actions that are being proposed and that come to my desk. I always feel very confident in signing these different legal actions because I know it's had an expert group looking at that information before it's come to me. So good job, enforcement group. Next, also within our quality and compliance division, is our environmental related illness program. So please take a second and look at some of the data on the screen, some of the accomplishments from our environmental related illness program. All of the clinically diagnosed cases that were reported to them for follow-up, the CD3s that they responded to. So this is where a medical professional has diagnosed a specific illness, a reportable illness, and that would go to this team. If it has an association with something that we do, it would be reported to this team to then be investigated. And you can see some of the pathogens on the right side of the screen that were diagnosed. Shigella being the most commonly diagnosed pathogen, Vibrio, which is commonly associated with raw oysters, Salmonella, hepatitis A, which is usually spread from person to person, like perhaps in like a food worker setting. And you can see some of the other illnesses that are listed there. So this team is absolutely critical to what we do. And it's incredibly important. And I've been so appreciative of our ERI's programs willingness to share this information with the entire department, because to me, this slide captures why it is we do what we do, exactly what we're trying to prevent. So for all of the opportunities that exist for these things to happen, this is what's actually happening in the community. So I think we don't want it ever to happen, but I think because keeping these numbers as low as they are as a result of the work that we're out there doing in the community every single day. All right, that brings us to a couple of safety program updates. And so first, I want to go over some of the things that we've been able to do related to safety. I'm going to pull those up on the screen here. So 73% of environmental staff have completed safety training since 2023. 64 completed the training in 2023. 140 completed the training in 2024. You have numbers for our defensive driving training, a little plug for the next defensive driving training classes that are coming up at Northern Regional Office if you haven't taken our defensive driver training. And so why do we do all this training? Why do we want to create awareness about safety? Does it actually pay dividends? I want to thank Atika and all of our safety reps at the regional offices because you can see some of the numbers here. So our total incidents are down by 31%, and damage to county vehicles is down by 41%. So it's absolutely paying dividends to have safety in the forefront of our minds. And so huge kudos to everyone that's been involved in raising this awareness and promoting the trainings across our entire department. We want to keep that trend going in the same direction into the next year. And then lastly, I believe this is the last slide, just a couple of quick IT updates that we're currently seeing. First, our Windows 11 updates. So that the desktop, if you're working from a desktop, should have been updated. Next in the queue are our Windows 11 updates. So during the last 2 weeks of October, starting next week, all of our laptops will have to be plugged in at one of the regional offices directly into the county network. The update generally takes about 3 to 4 hours, so we wanted to bring that up at this meeting because we want people to plan for that. If you haven't kept all of the updates going over time, it could take significantly longer. So if there are more updates to do just than Windows 11, it could be even longer than that. So please plan accordingly. I know your supervisors and managers have probably already been talking about this and planning for this, but we want to make you aware of that. And the last IT update that I will mention is our annual cybersecurity awareness training, which is on Monday, 12:30. And we would encourage everyone to please take that training and please be aware. So Leslie, who's the director of the ITC group, our IT group, reminded us to be extra vigilant when you have suspicious emails or suspicious texts coming into our devices, to please report those. Don't click on things, but report those things right away. They're getting more clever about luring people into clicking on things that can cause a lot of issues with the county's IT folks and our cybersecurity that we're trying to maintain here at the county. So those are the department highlights from fiscal year 2024. Just want to reiterate and give a huge shout out to the entire team for all of these accomplishments. Again, there's so much more than just numbers in these slides. This represents all of the opportunities that we had to prevent illness in the community, to meet our mission and vision, and to really make a difference out there with what we're doing. So I hope everyone remembers that every time you're out doing this work. And just thank you so much from the leadership team for being so committed and dedicated to that. And with that, we're going to get into the recognition portion of our meetings, and I'm going to hand it over to our new Deputy Director, Mr. Robert Stratman, to start out with our longevity pins. So, Robert.
All right. Mic check. We good?
Good.
Perfect. All right. Well, Andy, you must be exhausted. And there's so much to talk about, all the stuff that we've done. Right? That's a lot of information. And again, going into this kind of reflecting on what we have done, right? It's amazing. And I can't say it any better than Andy portrayed it in terms of the variety of work, the volume, the impact. I love the opening part about just the environmental health profession as a whole and the impact we have on the community. And kind of transitioning now from what we have done over the last few years. Now we get to kind of focus a little bit more on who has done it, right? And so getting into the employee recognition element, just to kind of take a moment, and we're going to do it on the agenda in multiple different ways, right? We want to kick it off though to kind of really recognize and highlight our employees that have been with us for a while. And for those of you who are new to the department and even the county gives out recognition pins in 5-year increments. And it is one way just to kind of maybe take a pause for a moment and reflect on your career. They're small tokens, but I think as you work with the department and you work for so many years, I think it's a nice reminder, right, of what you have done. Okay, take a pause, reflect on where you started at, where you're at now, all the people that you've met, the success that you've had in your job and that kind of stuff, and the interaction, the impact that you've had. And I know the county as a whole obviously wants to be the best employer possible. And I know the department as well. We want to try to provide the most rewarding setup for your career. And obviously we want to retain our staff because it's the impact again of what we do, right? And I think none of us would be in this profession if there wasn't some element of obviously public service and stuff that we want to provide back, right? And I think the work that we do that's been highlighted already, this shows so many ways that we can do that. And there's opportunity to have not only a solid career, but a long and rewarding career over time. So we're just going to turn it over to Johnny or Fernanda, and we're going to take a moment to kind of highlight and enjoy the time and see all the different stages of recognition and the staff that we have working for our department for many years now. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause for a moment there. Johnny, we brought Fernanda in to do multimedia, not to do photoshopping of your picture for the department. So let's just tap the brakes there. Okay, let's put Fernanda back to doing these marvelous things like these presentations and not making Johnny look a certain way. Okay.
Robert, that's how I looked when I started. I started like really young.
Yeah.
I was about
really,
12,
yeah,
13,
yes.
20 years ago.
Been here for a long time, but not as many years as Tom Maglio. So everyone saw that 30 years with the department. That is just, we all need to give a long, slow clap and congratulations to that, because that is a long and, like I said, I think rewarding career. Now, let's just actually take a look. Ask yourself, where was I 30 years ago? What was I doing?
I was in kinder.
Yeah. And just to think about that time, it's how much has been done, right? And Tom, I've been with the department not quite as many years as those, but quite a few, multiple decades, and just thinking about all the things that have changed to the department in my time, not knowing what even further that you were a part of, just not only the change in leadership, but just the way the county worked and the organization of the department, the way we do business then and now how we do business now. And you have always been an integral part in that. Major decisions and major changes in this department have happened. 9 times out of 10, you are involved in those types of changes and decisions. So I just want to say thank you, not only for the duration of your career, still going, right? Still going, maybe go for 40, right? But also just the impact that you've had with the department. So more than just a pin, we also going to be providing you, got the whole blur thing going on there. I got a plaque for you here too, Tom. I'll put my face by it, maybe that'll make it work. I don't know. We got a plaque for you. So I'll give this to you, Tom. I know you're a long ways away. You're right on the side of the wall from me here, but I'll make a trek after the meeting and I'll present you with this plaque. I just want to say thank you. And I know we have others in the department too that are close and potentially striving for that length of a career. And I encourage you, right? It's like having that duration of a career in this type of profession is rewarding. And I hope you all have a chance to have as long as rewarding career, I think, as Tom has. So thank you again, Tom. I appreciate it. Now I think I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Mr. Newsworthy himself, Johnny D. Loney.
Here's where the party starts.
Thank you, Mr. Robert. I don't know. I'm not in the party mode right now because, well, you'll see why. But either way, thank you, Robert. That was very nice of you to acknowledge my picture. And thank you all. Congratulations to all the longevity pin recipients. You know, we recognize employees for their service and years of service. It's something that's also very valued here and appreciated. And wow, it's amazing. So thank you. I've seen some faces there. I can't believe they've been here for 5 years already, because I remember when we were taking those pictures when they first started. So it's amazing. You blink and you've been here for 20 years. And so for those of you that are celebrating their first, fifth, or 10th year anniversary, just keep in mind that Tom has been here for 30 years. So you still have a little bit ways to go. But thank you for all of you that submitted nominations for the recognition awards. And let me tell you, this is all done by peers. So nominations are very, very important. If we don't get nominations, then there's no award. And some of you did very, very well. In fact, the committee members wanted to recognize especially Connie Griffith with Vector Control. She submitted about a dozen nominations. I don't know how she did that. That's very amazing. So thank you, Connie. And thank you all who submitted nominations. Of course, there was none submitted for me, so whatever. But it was very, very nice of you and quite a job for the committee. So this is to recognize those that ended up getting the award, but there were a lot of very good nominations, a lot of you that were nominated that really deserve an award or at least recognition as well. Thank you to the committee members and chairs who did this great job. We have Basel Shaban was the department's awards committee chairperson, and he did a great job. Thank you so much, Basel. He was also the committee chair for the administration and compliance group, and thank you to Lindsay Bittner for being the committee chair for the Environmental Health Awards Committee, and for Tony Hubble, who was the committee chair for the Vector and Waste Resources Committee, and Derek Summers, who was the chairperson for the Water and Waste Awards Committee. So thank you all to all the chairs. They did a great job, and to all the committee members. I can't mention all the names, but for all of you who served and volunteered to be a committee member and assisted with making the selections. I know it's not easy at times, so that's very highly appreciated. Really, really appreciate your job. And to make it more competitive and fair among the divisions. Some divisions are really small, so every year what we do is we group some of those smaller divisions into what we call a divisional group. So we're recognizing 4 groups: environmental health, which is our largest division; water and waste management, which is also right there with environmental health in terms of the number of employees. But then we have the vector and waste resources group that groups vector control and waste resources, and the administration and compliance group that groups administrative services, quality and compliance, and office of the director. So we have the 5 awards for the department level recognition for Employee of the Year, New Employee of the Year, Team of the Year, Customer Service Excellence, and the Safety Award. And then at the divisional group level, we're recognizing the Employee of the Year and Team of the Year. And this year, once again, we'll have a recognition for the New Employee of the Year at that level. So with all that being said, let's watch who's getting the award this year. And don't expect to see me there, but, well, you'll see me, but you'll see. Okay, go ahead, Fernanda. This coworker has done an unbelievable job stepping up to fill the gaps that have occurred over the last year. When the team's supervisor left, this individual voluntarily took the task of keeping the group together. It took months to find the supervisor's replacement. During that time, the group looked to this coworker for leadership and guidance until a supervisor was hired to fill the managerial role for this division. This employee's supervisor has said the following. I have used his knowledge and expertise to move this team in the right direction. After I was only here a few weeks, I was in a bad work accident. He was called to fill in and hold up the team once again, taking on a special work assignment and accepting a lead role in the 4 months I was away from work. He has been a rock for this team in the last year. With all its challenges and uncertainties, the crew always looked to him to help them when needed and to find the answers when they couldn't. For all this and more, the Vector and Waste Resources Divisional Group Employee of the Year is Brad Daniel. Congratulations, Brad. This employee has shown outstanding dedication and efficiency since joining the department. This individual's proactive approach and team-first nature makes this coworker an invaluable asset to the program. Within just one response day, this employee addressed a total of 31 complaints, achieving a 100% response rate. Throughout the year, has meticulously inspected 150 assigned routine mosquito breeding sites every month, while also prioritizing time to survey the district for unknown breeding sites, leading to an impressive 850 additional inspections. Furthermore, he inspected 86 assigned routine inspection sites in open districts, ensuring full workload coverage across all Western District areas. Every week, he sets 28 assigned routine CO2 mosquito traps, effectively covering one of our largest geographical districts, which spans from Surprise to Wickenburg, covering 1,624 square miles. His ability to prioritize tasks has allowed him to efficiently manage a route that requires an average of 180 miles of travel each day. His commitment to the team is exhibited in how he volunteers his limited extra time to assist teammates with their workloads and how he covers open district work. Given his willingness to go above and beyond and his potential for future leadership, the Vector Waste Resources Divisional Group New Employee of the Year is Brandon Hintz Dill. Congratulations, Brandon.
There you guys are. We got to figure out who this team of the year is for Vector and Waste Resources. So, looks like this team that won was a very resilient group that handled a lot of changes within their supervisors and management sectors of their division. This group stuck together and handled all of the tasks and responsibilities head on, no matter what was happening within their leadership. They continue to show great pride in their work and great customer service while dealing with the public at all of our locations. This group has come together as a team and rebuilt their safety program, as well as reset all expectations of their employees and management. They hold themselves to a high and efficient standard, have great communication between employees and management, and always are willing to do what's asked of them to complete the big picture projects. So this team for 2024 for Vector and Waste Resources, their team of the year was the Waste Resources team. Congrats to Brad Daniel, William Bauer, Jermaine Cromwell, Ashwell Blossom, Richard Ludy, Derek Elkins, Andrew Witt, Stefan Hollenbeck, Orlando Duran, Jake Fosdick, Michael McCallum, Graham Rick, Garrett Tomlinson, and Tony Hubble. Congratulations, everybody.
This employee displays unparalleled skill and dedication. Someone whose strategic vision and proactive approach have ensured smooth adaptations and have driven the program forward. This coworker consistently supports and inspires colleagues, fostering their professional growth and confidence. This employee has been an essential asset to management, providing insightful recommendations and solutions that have greatly enhanced the program. Has the ability to balance strategic insight and hands-on support, underscoring exceptional leadership. Many of the team have praised this individual's guidance when transitioning to the Permit Center, mentoring staff, investing in their success, and being an invaluable resource. This individual took the initiative to lead in the design, development, and testing of the Permit Center for the program, helping develop a workable product. In addition, this is someone who successfully maintained and managed the on-site inspection and solid waste programs despite staffing changes and shortages. Her ability to effectively manage these essential programs under challenging conditions highlighted her expertise, commitment to excellence, and unwavering support for her team, the program, the department, and the county. For outstanding contributions and leadership, the 2024 Water and Waste Employee of the Year is, drumroll Johnny, Alyssa Vermilia. So congratulations, and you did an excellent job for the county.
When this coworker was hired, literally came in and hit the ground running. Immediately going into training for both field inspections and plan review is one thing, but taking over the most technologically advanced and diverse inspection district means evaluating soil and inspecting systems on some of the most difficult projects in the county. In the 10 months that this employee has been with us, this coworker has taken every opportunity to learn those complex systems. On top of having to understand the complex systems, he also had to deal with quite a range of builders and customers, and it takes quite a bit of confidence to do this well. He excels at interacting with stakeholders and citizens, working efficiently to address questions and assure compliance with installed systems. He does not hesitate to work across the program to receive additional information relevant to projects. So when a contractor or homeowner runs into an issue, he can provide them with the best information and direction Maricopa County has to offer. With his excellence initiative, attention to detail, and his early accumulation of quality experience at this stage of his career, this employee has proved to be a New Year All-Star. For this and more, the 2024 Water and Waste New Employee of the Year is Christopher John Cananan. Congratulations, John.
This team maintained impressive work efficiency, consistently meeting deadlines and exceeding expectations. Their dedication to delivering outstanding customer service is evident through their ability to address inquiries promptly and effectively, leaving a positive impact on all stakeholders. This unit demonstrated exceptional professionalism in managing the transition to our new permit center. Their proactive approach, including volunteering for additional training sessions, ensured a smooth adaptation process and minimal disruptions, being able to perform inspections from day one. Despite facing a challenging year and increased workload since the team shrunk from 5 full-time inspectors to 4, they managed to do the same number of inspections as the previous 3 years. They were able to stay ahead of schedule while conducting more alternative inspections than in the past. All this was impossible because of the quality inspectors that they have. It constantly helps each other, whether with extra inspections or questions about odd situations. In addition to being a positive and fun group, their willingness to communicate with one another is not something that many teams can say. In summary, their commitment to excellence, adaptability, and service sets a remarkable standard for all. Their collaborative spirit and unwavering focus on quality makes them a deserving team for this recognition. For all of this and more, the Water and Waste Management Team of the Year is, drumroll please, the On-Site Inspection Team. Congratulations to Karen Jacobs, Samuel Enbring, Vanessa Bodenschatz, Christopher John Cananan, Christopher Henney, and Alyssa Vermilia. Congratulations, everyone.
This employee promotes cohesiveness and is a leader among their peers. This individual is very approachable and always willing to help coworkers with any needs. This employee has coordinated team building events and permit center training ride-alongs. They have also created a daily inspection hub card and have shared it with coworkers. This employee regularly volunteers to take out new coworkers on ride-alongs and has volunteered for special events, sweeps, and stadium inspections regularly. This employee supports, encourages, and lifts coworkers up. This staff member is a positive member of the team and truly cares for the well-being of the coworkers. Over the last year, this employee has been out on multiple high-profile complaints, inspections, and handled them in a professional manner. This coworker took on a large additional duty last year as the department awards chairperson due to their unwavering commitment to promoting the successes of others. And on top of all this, last year, this coworker was the department's new Employee of the Year. Due to all this and more, the 2024 Environmental Health Employee of the Year is Michaela Kessler DeBarge. Congratulations, Michaela!
From day one, this employee has been an incredible team player, always willing to lend a helping hand to coworkers, no matter how busy this individual's own schedule is. The positive attitude and enthusiasm this coworker displays for the work have made this employee a true standout. This staff member consistently steps up to the plate, volunteering for extra tasks and going above and beyond what's expected. Whether it's staying late to meet a deadline or helping a colleague troubleshoot a problem, his dedication to the team is inspiring. His eagerness to contribute and learn more makes him a vital part of our success, and coworkers truly believe that he exemplifies everything this award stands for. We're so lucky to have him on our team. For all this and more, the Environmental Health New Employee of the Year is Ted Tut. Congratulations, Ted.
Maricopa County Environmental Services Department is increasingly challenged with innovative processes and technology. The pandemic forced many businesses to develop new ideas to increase profit. Many of these ideas increased the risk of foodborne illness and introduced new hazards. In response, this team increased in size to apply the strengths of the individual team members and spread the work around. This team created and finalized the following this year: 11 process-specific email templates to provide consistency and efficiency, 8 PowerPoints that are used for internal trainings, 13 guidance documents used to provide information for customers. The documents include code references, hazards, definitions, pathogens of concern, and general information on specific processes. Over the last year, this team has received an increase of 35% in customer inquiries, 189 total. These inquiries required extensive research of over 15 different processes. In addition, 61 establishments received approval to conduct operations outside of the food code. MCESD has strengthened existing partnerships with other agencies, including federal, state, local, and tribal entities by sharing educational materials. MCESD has also strengthened relationships with industry trade and associations. This required extensive time, effort, and research to accomplish the goals of this program. Due to all this and more, the 2024 Environmental Health Team of the Year is the HACCP team. Congratulations to Jose Jacob, Martin Vega, Michelle Chester, Michelle Rosenberger, Jaime Vinares, and Voss Hoffer.
This coworker consistently demonstrates an exceptional level of commitment to the Environmental Services Department's mission and vision. Through the work performed, this employee embodies MCSD's vision by providing consistent, high-quality service to work as a true partner with the community, someone who exemplifies teamwork, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to protecting the health and safety of Maricopa County residents. Wait a minute. Is this me that they're talking about here? Well, let's see. This individual's approach to enforcement is always empathetic and strategic, someone who truly believes in the team motto, enforcement is a tool, not a goal. In the daily interactions with customers or complainants, this employee goes above and beyond to meet their needs while collaborating with property owners to gain compliance, fostering a spirit of cooperation and partnership. This coworker is often tasked with some of the program's most challenging cases, frequently dealing with vulnerable populations. Despite the complexity of these cases, She takes the time to handle them with grace, compassion, and professionalism. For instance, in a recent interdepartmental case, she coordinated and facilitated a community town hall to address the concerns of residents. She ensured every question was answered and took the time to listen and acknowledge everyone's frustrations, further demonstrating her ability to handle sensitive situations with care and professionalism. For all this and more, and for the second year in a row, yes, the Administration and Compliance Employee of the Year is Sarah Killen. Congratulations, Sarah.
With specialized knowledge spanning several programs, this team consistently handles a broad range of tasks, working with business operators, contractors, property managers, and some of the county's most vulnerable populations, including the homeless, poor, and disabled. The team excels at guiding customers toward compliance with established county health codes, food code, ARS, and AAC, all while remediating complex environmental violations such as improper waste disposal, pest infestations, and sewage issues. They handle the most complex and high-profile permitted cases, as well as bizarre and grotesque non-permitted complaints. In some cases, they even have to obtain and execute search warrants to gain evidence of public health threats. Despite being a small team, they serve the entire county, often managing numerous cases simultaneously. Their ability to develop compliance plans that emphasize the importance of public health is a testament to their expertise. They approach each situation with professionalism and a thorough understanding of the public health impacts, making them not just enforcers but problem solvers and counselors. The job hazards associated with inspecting private properties, including disgruntled owners, spliced and buried electrical lines, mental illness and drug abuse, sharp objects, and loose animals. These cases can stretch the team's knowledge base as sanitarians, and the results are often life-changing for those enforced upon and for the surrounding community. They have proven to be an invaluable asset to the department and the county. For all this and more, the fiscal year 2024 Administration and Compliance Team of the Year is the Enforcement Team. Congratulations to Basel Shaban, Sarah Killen, Patrick Broden, Lisa Girdle, Elisa Misfich, Rosanna Ramirez, and Deidre Rittenhouse.
This individual comes with a plethora of job-related knowledge and has been a person to lean on when it comes to safety items and topics. This coworker has not only provided valuable input, but has also helped rebuild the safety program in his work unit. His knowledge of the semi-truck safety world is invaluable. He has helped our other waste resources drivers with what to look for while driving in Phoenix traffic, and has also helped with vehicle inspections. He also makes sure our flags at our transfer stations are in compliance, and if they are not, he will take it upon himself to swap them out and dispose of them properly. He is a big advocate of working safely and smartly and taking care of yourself and your equipment. He deserves to be recognized for his contribution to keeping our division safe and also the public around us. For this and more, the Environmental Services Fiscal Year 2024 Safety Award goes to Derek Elkins. Congratulations, Derek.
This is someone who has consistently stepped up to cover high priority re-inspections and address complaints, providing vital support to peers and supervisors. On several occasions, this coworker has also aided in last-minute immediate suspensions alongside new employees. His dedication extends beyond his regular duties. He frequently volunteers for mobile food and special events, having participated in multiple mobile food sweeps and paired night inspections. His commitment was particularly evident towards the end of the year when he worked extensive overtime hours to assist with year-end delegations, which included cross-office tasks and after-hours inspections. Additionally, he provides invaluable language assistance to his colleagues whenever needed, and this employee was also selected to help pilot the FDA Employee Health Policy Toolkit. For his unwavering dedication and his embodiment of the county's mission and vision, the Environmental Services Department Fiscal Year 2024 New Employee of the Year is Pablo Rivera. Congratulations, Pablo.
This employee has received multiple thank you emails for the exceptional customer service they have provided throughout the year. These emails and phone calls have been from both internal and external customers. Some of the comments included, "This inspector is a wonderful inspector and goes out of their way to educate the kitchen employees on what is required." Also, this inspector, quote, "is so kind and could not be any nicer to the team," end quote. Another operator states, "This inspector's ideas and suggestions made her kitchen a safer place." One of this inspector's peers wrote, "He was a great example of effortlessly working through what could have been possibly a difficult situation with an operator about making changes to procedures to work within the code. At the end of the inspection, the operator thanked him for his guidance with a smile. I am better equipped to do my job than before." This inspector has conducted several peer ride-alongs to help with specific ethnic foods during inspections. They have also provided co-workers with an ethnic foods presentation and has been asked to present at the Arizona Department of Health Services annual conference. For all the internal and external customers this inspector has impacted, the Customer Service Excellence Award goes to Lagafi Crawford. Congratulations, Lagafi.
Despite intense pressure and the need to manage multiple priorities, this team completed their project on time. Their dedication and expertise ensured a smooth transition to a new system, demonstrating exceptional commitment and teamwork. This team achieved remarkable success by helping configure and test a new system, all while balancing their regular work responsibilities. Contributing to a 2-year project and tasked with an aggressive deadline, this team helped design, build, and test nearly 50 different permit types, which accounted for 240 work cases, all while standardizing the department's permit structures and business processes across a highly diverse group of programs. They also provided valuable feedback on the progress and performance of the software, so improvement could be made during the project timeline. Some of the team's efforts extended beyond technical tasks, conducting comprehensive training for 222 environmental services staff across 58 separate training sessions and equipping staff with the necessary skills to utilize the new software effectively. Additionally, they developed new inspection checklist formats for all department inspection types that will provide more effective resolution of inspection data, which will improve our reporting capabilities for internal and external metrics. For all this and more, the Environmental Services Fiscal Year 224 Team of the Year is the Permit Center Implementation Team. Yes! Notice that if it was the PIO team, I would have been mentioning Fernanda's name and Johnny's name and having a big graphic and effects and all kinds of celebration, but I'm bitter. No, next year, Fernanda's too new to the department. But no. I'm not mentioning the names because there are 44 names, so you're seeing the names rolling now. There you go. Congratulations to each one of you. Great team, great work. So thank you very much. This has been quite an endeavor. So we're very proud and very appreciative of all your hard work and dedication, which really embodies what environmental services it's all about. Congratulations to all, the department's Team of the Year.
This employee has a very unique and honed set of skills that provide incredible value to the division and the department as a whole. This is someone with a very important ability to anticipate and follow through on requests and juggle the workload and coordination with many entities simultaneously. Sometimes it seems like this coworker can complete the task before getting directions. Even with the rapid speed at which this employee works, the work delivered is always of the highest quality. This person's knowledge and expertise in software and applications have benefited the division, such as creating dashboards and rebranding applications, letterheads, and other documents. This employee has been incredible since he started with the county, but it was more noticeable this last year with his involvement in building, testing, implementing, and problem solving the permit center for his division's 6 programs and for other divisions. He also, largely on his own, researched and developed the hub cards that have made the permit center more user-friendly for hundreds of employees across multiple departments. His manager said, "I truly believe he knows the Tyler system platform better than most Tyler employees." And this was accomplished through hard work and his care for the department. Not only during darker times with Permit Center, he was often our shining light that provided an effective and efficient path forward. Due to all this and more, the fiscal year 2024 Environmental Services Department Employee of the Year is, I think the drums are still rolling, Chris Budnick. Congratulations, Chris. Great job.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. Well, sorry if we botched some names, if we did mispronounce some names there. Some of the presenters were concerned that some of the names were not pronounced correctly, so sorry for that. And you know, I didn't get a spinner this time. I don't have a spinner like this with a big bass. But look, I did get something. And look, it says, "Yay, you did a thing." Awesome. Whatever. So congratulations to all the nominees, all the winners. You know, in fact, some of the nominees received multiple nominations. That's why we had to compile a lot of information for some of them, some of the individuals and teams. So congratulations to all of you. I see that we have about 200 that have joined. Congratulations and appreciation and thanks to all of you for all the work done. And like you saw, there were some that were just nominated, and there were some others that didn't make the list, but we know that we appreciate the hard work that you put in every year. So in fact, we'd like to see some of you right now. If you can turn on your cameras, I guess we fixed that. It'll be nice that Andy can take a look of these about 200 employees that are joining the meeting. Turn on your camera. As long as you are dressed accordingly, or you don't have a crazy background or anything. But if you feel comfortable, if you like, we'll love to see you, wave at the camera, and we'd love to see some of you guys that have joined the meeting today. Okay, so now while you're doing that, okay, see Fernanda there. Fernanda, next year we're going to get the award. In fact, we're going to start working on that graphic this year because it doesn't matter. We're going to get the award. Okay, did you see that even Robert was like nominated for Employee of the Year? What's up with this? Whatever. I'm so bitter right now. I'm just holding it. Whatever.
We did
what
that
was it?
Spike.
What was that? Please mute
Targeted.
Robert. Please mute Robert. Okay, and now we're gonna go move on with to conclude this meeting with Andy for the Q&As. If you have questions, if you have comments, please send those directly to Andy. We're running out of time, so make sure you do that before the end of the meeting. Send them directly to him via Teams so he can answer those or share those with the rest, and then he'll have the closing remarks. So thank you very much to each one of you. Thank you.
All right. We'll see if any questions come rolling in. In the meantime, again, just wanted to thank everyone for joining. I think really in addition to just the preparation that Johnny and Fernanda and the whole team does to get this ready, the fact that so many people join and are engaged as we're doing all the recognitions with comments and reactions makes the meeting successful and super fun. So thank you so much for and I hope everyone enjoyed it. So while we're waiting to see if any questions come in, I just wanted to say that it has been an absolute honor and privilege to come in as the new director of the department. And I know Robert would echo that sentiment as our new deputy director. I feel like there are a ton of challenges that the department is facing, but with those challenges, because of the team that we have and because of the groundwork that's been laid by our former directors, both Darcy Kober and Blanca Caballero, all those challenges really are opportunities to move the department into the future, whether it's fees or whether it's opportunities with Permit Center. We really are set up to be successful and to move the department into the future. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I understand, and I've tried to get around to as many program areas as I can and just talking to people, that there is so much work that comes to us in our day-to-day routines that we are extremely busy trying to keep up with all of that. And a lot of times when that's the case, it doesn't give us the opportunity to work towards other things that we're trying to accomplish, because all of this work is coming to us. So we're being acted upon by all of this work, and our ability to act upon other directions, the direction that we want to go, can be somewhat limited. But I do think that we are going to get there, and I think that that's going to come through innovation. I know at the beginning of the presentation, I stopped a little bit on our slide about our mission and vision slide that talk about innovation. And I'm a true believer that the best innovation comes through engagement with our staff and with our customers. And so that's the direction that I'd like to go in the coming 2 to 3 years, is to engage more and create a framework where we can engage with staff, all staff, to identify issues and areas for improvement, and also to engage better, create a framework for our customers to engage in the same way. Now, in order to do that, we have to have the time and ability to focus on moving things in that direction. And that's very difficult to do when we have so much work in front of us. There's this whirlwind of work that's incredibly important that we have to get done. And so I think that the fee model is what's going to help lay a foundation for us to be able to move in this direction of innovation. And so that's been the main focus that I've had during my time as short time as director and time as deputy director, is moving this fee model forward so that we can have our staffing levels right sized to the different workloads that we have, so that we can spend the time that we need to get that work done in the right way, and also so that we can have the time to think and engage in moving the department into the future through innovation. And I think that's key to our department. There are always things changing around us in the community. I mentioned earlier, you have, treated sewage getting turned into drinking water. You have people being able to now make almost any type of homemade food and sell that out to the public. You have emerging vector-borne diseases on the border with dengue fever, chikungunya, and Zika kind of knocking on the door. So all of these challenges that we're facing in the world of environmental health, our ability to face those challenges is going to come through innovation. And we've always excelled at that, and that's what's made our program a leader both locally and nationally, is that we're always thinking forward. We're always thinking of better ways to do things. And again, in my experience, the best ideas and the best people to be able to identify where we can improve are the people doing the work and the people receiving the services that we're providing. And so that's the direction that I like to take the department over the next 2 years, once we've laid this foundation to be able to do so. So I'm not seeing, let me double check my questions here before we sign off. I have a shout out from a couple people just saying no questions, but hello, and a hello back. This would be in my own chat, right, Johnny? My own Teams chat? Okay. I want to make sure I'm in the right place.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see any questions. Hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully people know my door is always open. They can give me a call whenever they want. And they don't feel the need to ask the questions here. But that certainly is the case. I look forward to working with everyone going into the future. And I feel incredibly privileged to be in the position that I'm in, having the foundation laid that has been laid to move the department into the future. So lots of good things to look forward to. And again, thank you for joining our meeting today. And thank you to everyone that put this together. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. and look forward to our next employee event, which will be our holiday potluck. And so we'll have more details soon to come on our holiday potluck, and that will be in person. I look forward to seeing as many people that can attend that in person. So thank you very much. Johnny, anything else we need to say before we end? Is that it? All right. Thanks, everyone. So grateful for the work that you do. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.